Hey everybody, it's Stitch. I'm filling in today for Mom. What do you think? Who is she?
Hi everybody, Corrupting Journey here, that Journey chick on Instagram. It's Wednesday, hump day, and you know what? Hold on. It's cold outside. We are in the middle of the worst winter storm that this town has seen since 2013. 6 inches of snow overnight. I know it's not a big deal to some of you, but it is still snowing heavily. Tootsie went out, did a little circle. I know that because saw the prints, came right back in. And it's expected to snow almost all day today. We're going to get a little lull around lunchtime, and then it'll start again and into the night. So I'm sure my sister is excited, and if she goes out to build a snowman like she says she's going to do, I will film it for you. So I took a little picture of, the serenity of the snow. It's a little panoramic picture from out my front door. It's all white. I don't even know if you'll be able to see anything, but yeah, snow day. Apparently 2 people went into the office today. I'm sure they've cleared the highways. And if I could, once I get out of my neighborhood, I would be fine. But I am working from home today. Now tomorrow, that's a different story. I'm going to see if I can sort of finagle another work from home day tomorrow, because I don't want to be driving in the snow. I'm sure the roads will be clear and my boss will be like, come on, you live in Wichita now. You have to be part of the culture. Oh, whatever. Yes. So, got my planner out. Happy planner. That presumes that I'm happy, right? Right between my shoulder blades. I feel like somebody just stabbed me. So, because I was really working on this painting last night. I worked my way down some. So what you see underneath here is some of it's done, but just got like little holes and stuff. But for the most part, I just have this little area here that I wanted to keep it covered, and some of that. But we will be moving our way down and up. So we're all on the other side of 50%. Yay! So just a little scheduling announcement. I will be doing a live on Friday night after Jennifer Roberts' live, DP Addiction Adventures. When she ends, I will be going live with our meet and greet number 6. Because this vendor sponsor is from Australia, this was kind of when we could finagle a time that was kind of good for both of us. So if you want to come to a nighttime live, they are a lot of fun because, after hours, things can get a little risque. You never know what the topic's going to be. Anyway, that would be Everlasting Tips. If you want tips for your pens, metal tips, or whatever they call them. I have some. Well, that's plastic. But anyway, Everlasting Tips. We're going to find out all about her shop and what she has and what the discounts are. I know. We are really enabling you during this event. Now, we should have a new challenge coming out later today or tomorrow. Look for that. I will still be going live on Sunday, but I have some other plans for that live. I'm also going to be going live tonight, Craft With Me Wednesday. I think it's going to be crochet. It seems like it should be a crochet night, right? Yes, crochet. So, what did I do last week? I don't remember. Oh my God. Oh, last week was cross stitch. Yes. So, crochet. We're going to do crochet. Hi, Pearl. I took another picture as I was standing out on the porch taking that panoramic picture. I finished, I go to come back in the house, and all three animals are right there. And I thought, oh my God, that is so super cute. They're all looking at the snow. And, well, Duncan's still in bed. He's like, I ain't getting up. So he's in bed with my sister, but there's the other three. All right, what else is going on? What else? Let's get to our February. Oh my goodness. How many more months we got left in here? I got through, this one goes through the end of the year. Okay, good. We're good. We're good. Today is Groundhog Day. Groundhog Day. And yes, he saw his shadow. So we will be having 6 more weeks of winter. Punxsutawney Phil came out of his little burrow, saw his shadow, and we're right back in. 6 more weeks of winter, which is not surprising since we're in the middle of a big snowstorm. Because October, November, December, no snow. No snow. I mean, not for us. None. It was a very, very mild winter. Days that were at record breaking in the 70s, you know, so I'm not surprised that this is winter now. Like the whole calendar's kind of shifting. Okay. I paid the rent, didn't pay the other bills. Gotta do that today. Haven't done any filming because I was diamond painting. I have a very special project that I'm going to be filming. You guys, I can't wait to bring it to you. What else? Oh, let's write down snow day. 6 inches in the morning or overnight. I'll put in overnight. Yep. Okay. That's that. I keep getting shocked when I touch stuff. I think it's because I've got these claw. I don't know what you call these things. What do you call these things? Slippers? I don't know. I'm, you know, sliding across the carpet and I touch stuff and it shocks me. Oh no! Yes! Don't forget to hit the like button. He's getting shocked too every time one of you guys hit him, and he just loves it. Holy moly! I know. So, let's talk about crafting and crime daily. So dramatic. Okay, we're covering the case of the Waffle House murders. Trevor Ryan King is on trial for the Waffle House murders. Now, the day before yesterday, we had all of the victims, all of the deceased, all of that testimony came in. Yesterday, there was one more person that we didn't hear from the day before who was also in the Waffle House. She was one of the, an additional person that was sitting at the counter waiting for her to-go order. And when the shooter came in, when Trevor walked into the door, she just hid under the counter. So she's very much exposed. She's very lucky she did not get shot. Because she was like closest to him, really very exposed. And they said, she said she was crouched down, she was pretending to be dead, and they asked her, did she ever look up? And because they wanted her to identify the defendant, and she said, one time I looked up. They're like, well, did you get a look at his face? She goes, no, I got a look at his tiny scrotum. I was dying. And then she looked back down and didn't look up again. Not his face, his tiny scrotum. I thought that was hilarious. I try to find humor in this tragic event. It's no question it's a tragedy. Then after that we had a parade of police officers. There was a special unit, the narcotics unit. They brought them out. They had them patrolling the streets. And every time someone would call in a lead, like, I think he's in my shed, I think he walked into the closet, they would go out and they would check out these leads. They did that for the entire day, because this event happened at 3:23 to 3:30-ish on a Sunday morning. So they spent all day Sunday into the night following up these leads. Then they were sent home and asked to come back the next morning. So they come back the next morning, and there's a call from these tree trimmers that were out there, and they're like, hey, we saw this guy. He came out of the woods. He saw us, and he went back in. So they, one of the officers responded, and the tree trimmer showed him exactly. He says, I'm going to walk the tree line. When I get close to where you saw him, let me know. So he's walking the tree line, and when he gets close to where it was that he's seen, the tree trimmer, indicates to him that's it. And he looks, and he sees like a little trail going into the woods. So he follows it in there by himself, no backup. I'm like, wow, that's ballsy, because we know this guy's armed. We know he's armed. They've already been to his house. This man, Ryan King, had 2 other rifles, an AR-15, is that what it's called? AR-15, a Remington, yeah. And he had some handguns. So, and one of them was missing. Now, I missed how they figured that out, but one of them was missing, so this guy just walks into the woods. He goes into the woods. He did call for backup. So everybody else is on the way. Another officer arrives, catches up to him, and he says, here, you go that way. I'm going to go this way. So the first officer, he goes this way, and he said, it had been raining off and on the day before. So it was very, noisy in the woods, crunching and crackling of branches and things like that. Very thick brush. So he just stops and just stays really quiet until he hears the noise. And he looks to where he hears the noise coming from, and there's the defendant crouched behind this tree. So he just tells him, come out with your, get down on the ground, put your hands in front of you. And the guy does. Totally cooperative. So he gets him up, escorts him out of the woods. Now the cavalry's there. They put him in handcuffs, cut off. He has a backpack on. They cut the backpack off, and inside this backpack is, hold on, I have it. Inside this backpack is the handgun, which was ready to be fired. It had the magazine in it, the magazine was in the backpack. But then in his pocket later on, they find an additional magazine. This guy was ready to go again. He had these silver bars, 11 of these silver bars, very heavy. I don't know what they could have been worth or what he thought he was going to do with them. He had $464 in cash, his wallet, some water bottles, and some other various items that were in this backpack. So the reason they put on so many different officers, the person that handcuffed him, the person that assisted with the handcuff, the person that transported him from here to here to here, like 5, 6 different officers, because they were trying to prove a point. Did he appear to you to be mentally ill? No. Seemed very cooperative, nothing out of the ordinary. He did what he was told. Which the judge pointed out doesn't mean he's not mentally ill. Mentally ill people sometimes look normal. But nonetheless, because the defense objected to all this as being cumulative, of course, and there was a big hearing about it. You know, they removed the jury and they argued about it for, 30 minutes or so. But, what does this prove? What does it not prove? Blah, blah, blah. What the defense was worried about is that now they're making these officers look like semi-experts. You've been trained in how to identify people with mental illness. Oh, yeah. You've seen schizophrenic people before. Oh, yeah. So now the jury's thinking, well, these guys know what they're talking about, right? So, and I have to agree with the defense on this. Yeah. It did kind of make them look like they knew what they were talking about and that the guy did not appear mentally ill at all. That doesn't mean he wasn't. Yeah. So we're going to hear more about that when the defense presents their case. We then got a medical examiner. The medical examiner, he did the autopsies on 2 of the 4 individuals that passed away, but he was there to present the information on all 4. He said the reason he didn't do all 4 was because of the volume, so he had someone else do the other 2. So he went through each person. So the first autopsy was Joe Perez Jr. Now, as you recall, Joe Perez was in the vehicle that was having car trouble. He pulls up near the suspect's vehicle. He walks around his car and he's going to enter the Waffle House when the defendant gets out of his vehicle and shoots him. So he had 4 gunshot wound paths that was found by the medical examiner. All of them went from the back to the front. So he was shot 4 times as he's walking towards the Waffle House. So all of it went through his back. 1 through the back of his skull, came out the front. So, of course, and the medical examiner explained, with that kind of a high-powered rifle, the damage internally is extensive. So extensive brain damage right there. That alone was the kill shot. Then he was shot in the left side of his neck, again, back to front. The posterior of the left shoulder, back, back to front, and then in his right side. And he said the right side was a little different because it appeared like the bullet had hit something else and then the shrapnel had gotten into his body. So there was a lot of shrapnel damage. And he suspects it might have hit a pole or a concrete or something and then shattered and went into him. Horrible. Yeah. Then we have Mr. Sonderland, the cook, who had gone outside to take his smoke break. He said this was definitely the most complicated autopsy. He had 7 gunshot wound paths. And he explained the first was, well, he doesn't know if it was first, but in fact, he suspects it may have come later. But there was a path that was right to left through the skull. Right to left through the skull. Then there was a cluster of 4 shots that went from left to right in his chest. And here's how he explained it. He stood up and he said, it looked like the victim was turning, and the first shot went here, and then here, and then here, and then back here. So it was almost like he did kind of this as he's being shot. All around the chest. Then he had a wound in his left thigh and a wound in his left side that looked like they may have been the final shots. Yeah. And then we have Aquila Da Silva. This was the brother that was sitting across from the register waiting for his order. He was waiting for his brother to place an order with his girlfriend. All 4 of them had been out celebrating, doing a music video. And so he's sitting there when the shooter enters, and he goes to the left. His brother and his girlfriend go to the right towards the bathroom. He has 2 wounds. This is the guy that was conscious afterwards, was talking to his girlfriend, was talking to the rescuers, and just complaining of severe pain in his arm. So they're all thinking he's been shot in his arm, which he was. He was shot in the right shoulder. But what they didn't know, because nobody looked, was that he had also had a bullet in his right chest. Remember I said something went into his chest. I thought maybe it was the same bullet, but it was two different bullets. So it went into his lungs, it fractured several ribs, and then went into his lung. Yeah. And that's why he passed away at the hospital. Maybe a delay in recognition of that wound, which is so sad. Then the final autopsy was D'Ebony Groves, who was sitting in that booth. So when Travis Reinking walks in the door and he's spraying bullets around, she's in this booth, and he gets her. She had 2 wounds, also parallel. In one, fractured her left rib. It tore her spleen. It hit the left lobe of the liver. They're both traveling sort of together, so I don't know which bullet hit which organ. Her colon was injured. One of the bullets tore the pericardium, which is the sac that's around the heart, and entered the left ventricle, which is that's responsible for pumping the heart. And as that heart's pumping, the medical examiner believed that it pumped the bullet into the aorta, because that's where the bullet was found, but there was no damage to the aorta. So he believes that when it entered the left ventricle, that ventricle pumped it into the aorta. So that's where the bullet was recovered. So her wounds were not survivable. Yeah. So all 4 autopsies were performed. The cause of death was obviously gunshot wounds, and the manner of death was homicide. And as all medical examiners do, he explained to the jury that homicide definition for a medical examiner is it doesn't mean that that he's guilty of the crimes that he's charged with, the defendant. It just means that these people died at the hands of another person. Clearly, it's up to the jury to decide whether this was murder, premeditated, intentional, felony, whatever. But their definition, Aneme's definition of homicide is different. So that was the medical examiner. So then the prosecution says they have one more witness, and that witness is going to take a while. So the judge brought the jury in and said, I'm going to excuse you early for today, go back to the hotel, pretend it's a Saturday night, have a good time. So they do. And he tells them, prosecution has one more witness, it's going to take a while, and then the defendant should probably be able to get their witnesses there to testify in the afternoon. So the prosecution, I expect, will rest today, and then we're going to start hearing from the psychiatrist about whether or not Travis Reinking was insane at the time that he committed these acts. And God, I don't know what kind of person walks around with a short jacket in total butt-ass naked with a rifle into the Waffle House. I mean, I don't know. I'm really interested in this next bit of testimony about whether he's insane or not, or he was insane at the time of the murder. Now, the only thing that I'm disappointed about this trial is that they do not show the defendant very often. Like, I'm curious, like when he's hearing this testimony, I'd love to see, like, is there any remorse on his face? What is the during the victim testimony, we never saw his face. I just wanted to see, is he having any kind of reaction to seeing these people, this damage that he caused? We're not seeing that. The cameraman just doesn't catch it. I don't know if that's by order of the court. I have no idea, but we don't see it. Yeah. Every now and then you do see the defendant, but not very often. It's interesting, huh? All right, so this day in history, Groundhog Day. We already talked about Groundhog Day, but what's the history behind it? It was started in 1887, February 2nd, in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Gobbler's Knob. It became a tradition for the groundhog to come up out of his hole. Now, originally it was a hedgehog, and it has Christian origins. Back in the day, clergies would bless and then distribute candles that were needed for winter. The candles represented how long the cold winter would be. Now, when the Germans immigrated to the U.S., the Pennsylvania area, they brought the tradition with them. And because these groundhogs were so plentiful, they used the groundhogs as a means of predicting the weather. Yes. Now, I don't know how accurate these predictions always are. I feel like this year's prediction is probably pretty accurate, don't you think? Yep. And then in 1887, a newspaper editor belonging to a group of groundhog hunters declared that Phil would be the Punxsutawney groundhog. So they've had lots of different Phils over the years. The groundhog typically only lives about 6 to 8 years. And they really are coming out, they go into hibernation where their temperature drops and they stay there for quite a while. And they're coming up to mate. They're not coming up to predict the weather. It's a mating thing, which I find very funny. Do you remember the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray? I loved that movie. It was Groundhog Day over and over and over again. So funny. Bill Murray was hilarious in it. It's a classic movie. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it. It's just like the same day every single day. Little things change each day, and then it just repeats. It's a very funny movie. The Punxsutawney Groundhog Club hosts a 3-day celebration every year around this little 2-minute thing where where Phil, the groundhog, comes up out of the thing. Now, I looked it up this morning. I think I have a picture here of Punxsutawney Phil after he's come out and saw his shadow. They're, showing him off. Here he is, Punxsutawney Phil. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's the show for today. Guys, do not forget to hit the like button. Thank you very much to the people that became members of the channel. Don't forget, you can become a member of this channel for as little as $1.99 a month, and your donations go to help support the content of the channel. I've got a Diamond Art Club that should be here Friday. Can't wait. Ooh, ooh, ooh. DAC. Yeah, whatever. I'll do the unboxing for you. You're gonna love it, and of course you'll guess which one it is. I know you guys know me too well. So, what was I talking about? Oh my God! Yesterday, such brain fog. Like I would start to think about something and it would just leave my head. During the show, all day long, I was talking to Mickey. I'd have a thought, it would just go out of my head. Yeah. Brain fog. I have a doctor's appointment with my normal doctor to get all my normal lab work, because every time I have like a symptom, like this morning I'm watching YouTube shorts, and there's this guy that's telling you what your nails mean. So he said if you have mostly white nails with a red outline, could be diabetes. There it goes again, the diabetes. Yeah, I'm getting like these spots on my skin, and I'm like, what is that all about? Diabetes. I'm like, oh my God. So I stopped taking my diabetic medication because they said you have to go starting January 1st. You had to go back to your doctor, because I take Trulicity, and you had to go back to your doctor and get a new prescription for it. They had to, because you have to get like super secret permission to take that drug, because most insurance companies do not want to pay for it. So the insurance company said, no, you have to go back to your doctor and get recertified to take this drug. So on the 15th, I will talk to my doctor and she will get, you know, but whatever. And then my thyroid, I had my thyroid checked. I'm supposed to have an ultrasound every year. Haven't done it. Need to get that done because I have goiters. Yeah, I don't feel it, but doctors do. So, okay. Yeah. Oh, there's the kitties. Hi, kitty kitties. Hi, you want to come say hi? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. No. Doesn't want me to pick him up. Wants to come up here, but doesn't want me to pick him up. Mr. Independent. Yes. Was that a song? Yeah. Okay. I gotta go. I will see you tonight in Craft With Me Wednesday where we will do some crocheting. I'm almost done with my poncho. I'll show you what the next project's going to be. Maybe we'll even pick out the yarn and start it. Yeah. All right. I will see you guys then. Love you. Don't forget, DP with Sparklers is our sponsor of the week. Check out her site. Check out her deals for February. dpwithsparklers.com. But there's a code down below where you get 10% off stuff that she already has on sale. So check it out, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.